This message is just for you. You are good enough. This is the episode for you. If you feel like you're just not being productive enough and you're really annoying yourself with it, you don't know what to do, I've made this video with you in mind. So often, people come to me and they tell me they're really stressed, anxious, irritated with themselves, that they are not doing enough for their big goals. And what they generally ask for is ways to be more productive. So many of us think we need to be more productive, and there's so much guilt around it. But a lot of the time, I'm not sure that question, how can I be more productive, is always the right thing to ask without some further digging. Because what it generally leads to is a whole load of tricks and hacks that kind of shock us into action in the short term, but they don't address the underlying problem that means that we're not being productive in the first place, that friction on the wheel that's stopping us from doing what we want to do. So once the novelty of that trick or that hack wears off and the underlying problem resurfaces, we're back in that same cycle of, I need a new thing, I need a new trick, I need to try this new method. And so, as we reach kind of getting towards the end of the week, I just wanted to offer you 6 questions that might help to clarify that desire to be more productive, and that will tell you what problem you're actually trying to solve. So if you would like, get a pen, get some paper, and journal these with me, and I will put them on the screen as well. First question. What are you trying to get more of? What do you want this extra efficiency or this extra productivity to bring you? And it comes back to having a really clear vision of your goal, because your goal is never to just work harder or work more optimally in the general sense. The working harder is the means of getting more of a certain result. So what outcome isn't happening enough right now, or isn't happening fast enough right now? And the answer might be, I'm not learning enough vocabulary quickly enough. I need to be covering more ground. I want to be learning X amount of new words per day. I want to be revising Y amount of new words per day. Or it could be, in order to hit this deadline on my assignment, I need to increase my daily word count from 300 words a day to 500. But it also doesn't need to be numerical. It could be, I feel stuck at home, I feel lonely, I need to meet more people. And that's not, I need to meet 5 people a day every day, but just I need to start looking today for events in person or online that I could attend to feel less isolated and more part of my language learning community. Question number 2. Is it the amount of tasks or the duration that you actually want to change? Is it that you want to be able to do more tasks in a day to fit more in? Or is the problem more that you feel like you're spending too long on the things that you're already doing? And if it's that one, what do you want to do with the time that you save? Because the problem with a big goal is that, I know everybody always says, this is a marathon and not a sprint, but it's very easy to get into that mindset of, if I can just do more today, that's less I've got to do tomorrow. I'll get through it faster. Every tiny task counts. I'm going to do as much as I can in a day, every day. And then you always feel behind because it's still a marathon. You've still got so much spreading ahead in front of you. And so you feel behind, you are always under pressure to do more, but you're never going to get to the point, or certainly not soon, where you're like, right, I'm done, we're doing fine. You'll always be trying to do that one tiny extra thing to just get ahead. Number 3, do you definitely know what you need to do today, this week, and how it fits into the rest of your short term? Because one of the common problems with not feeling productive enough is actually that you've got too many things on your to-do list. So are you really clear on what to prioritize today and how you want today to look? When there are too many things all on your list, all marked as urgent, as Dr. Benjamin Hardy says, if you have more than 3 priorities, you have none. So do you have too many big tasks for one day, and it means that you feel scattered? You're doing one, but you're thinking about another and worrying about another. Number 4, what is actually getting in the way? What is it that's actually causing the friction on the wheel, the delays, the procrastinating? And normally when I ask people this, the answers jump straight to distractions, checking social media, infinity scrolling, doing other tasks that are kind of beneficial to their lives in a roundabout way, but not what they set out to do. But I would gently urge you to dive deeper than the thing that you use to distract yourself. Because quite often when we reach for those distractions, it's because we're trying to avoid something that feels uncomfortable. So is it really about the allure of social media or the week-long quest for a color-coded bookshelf that's the problem? Or is that just a convenient thing to take you away from something else, like self-doubt or fear or feeling trapped in a language routine that you really don't like and don't feel comfortable in? And if you're thinking, no, the issue is genuinely that I'm just too busy, I'm constantly being distracted by circumstances, life, the demands of other people, that leads us to question number 5, which is your routine in alignment with your life right now? Are you carrying old expectations of your productivity into new circumstances? Or are you carrying someone else's expectations into your own life? And if so, is it really the case that you need to push harder? Or would it be better to work to shape your language learning routine to fit your current life and circumstances better? It might mean that we need to look at how big a time you're putting to each language task you're doing. It might be that you need to be working in 10-minute increments rather than trying to work for 2 hours when people keep coming in or there's like dinner time to attend to. It might also be that you need more breaks, or you need to be doing lots of different activities in the same amount of time. So if you have 2 hours and you're happy, instead of doing one thing for 2 hours straight, it might be that you need to be doing 4 things for 25 minutes each with a break in between each one. And finally, question number 6. When is the last time you took a proper break? It can be so easy to look at the amount of free hours that we have and plan for all of them. But we forget that actually our brain power dwindles. We cannot take what we do in 1 hour and just multiply it by, say, 4 if we have a full afternoon free and hope that our brain will keep up the pace. It won't. The amount of hours we have free is less important than the amount of energy we have free. So if we're running on empty, we are not going to get things done no matter how much time we've got. So does your language learning routine afford you regular opportunities for rest? And then are you taking them? When you sit down to work, have you eaten and drunk water? Have you moved your phone away from your desk? And have you left the house today? Because there's no point in just doing more of the wrong things, language learners. The single biggest barrier to so many people's productivity It's the feeling that things aren't working, things are horrible, you don't want to be doing it, and that fear that your efforts are not going to pay off. So before you commit to just doing more and just doing it faster, figure out what's really holding you back, and you will be amazed at the difference it can make. And just a quick message for you. As so many universities go into the summer break, the Language Confidence Project is changing its posting schedule for the next 6 weeks. Throughout the summer, I'm going to be taking a break from daily podcast episodes, and instead I'm going to be posting Q&A videos that answer your questions. So if there is anything that you want to know about setting language goals, getting your language into the world, feeling more confident in speaking, being the best teacher to yourself that you can be, addressing your language learning doubts or fears, or anything else, leave your question in the comments below, and I'll be choosing 6, maybe a few more to work with. It'll depend what comes in and if we can merge any. And remember too that if you want a guaranteed, tailored answer to your question, this is a service that I offer on Patreon every single month in the middle tier. And if you'd like more details on that, the link is in the show notes. I know that this is difficult. Language learning is difficult and big goals are difficult, but it is so worth the effort. Every day that you are showing up for that goal, you are chipping a tiny bit away from it, and it will pay off. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you back here tomorrow.